Is this thing on? Grand Rising, world. It's your man, Johannes Shepherd Bay. Hold on, let me reposition this. This is my first time doing some shit like this, so just bear with me. We're gonna get into, just the shit that's going on in this crazy world that we live in. You know, this is the time now more than ever to make sure that we are good with our Creator. You can go to the store and buy up all the shit in the world. And that shit was crazy when I saw it. I went to go get some water. I was like, hold on, word? I didn't even know what was going on. Like, I pay attention to the world, but then I don't. You know, since sometimes you got to be in it, but sometimes you can't be so in it that you're consumed within, like, the madness of what may happen or what's about to happen or your predictions. It's like, at the end of the day, you never really know. You know, you never know when your time is. You know, so just because you buy or purchase bulk items, as far as toilet paper and water, which actually is not a bad thing, but, you know, a lot of it's on the basis of you doing it versus you doing it because of what you were instructed to do, or because of, you know, being in fear of something that may not even be here. But but regardless of that, I mean, now's the perfect time is to really to make sure that you're good with your Creator. You know, with the Most High, with, you know, those that watch over you, those that you pray to. You know, and if you're not a so-called religious type of person, now is the time for that, because at the end of the day, you never know when your time is up, right? You never know, and all the fear in the world, all the purchasing in the world, God doesn't like fear, you know, or what you would call God. You call him Elohim, whatever, but doesn't like fear, you know. I call him Elohim. But so those of us who are practicing fear and going out and doing certain things just because of that, you kind of got to get out of that. This would be a perfect time, because a lot of shit is like shut down. Is to reflect on yourself, reflect on what you've been doing, how you've been treating yourself. You know, have you been loving yourself? Have you been taking care of yourself? How have you been treating those around you, your family, your coworkers, former friends and colleagues? And even if these relationships are not strong, sometimes it's always good to have an understanding of where you guys stand, so that there's no hate or there's no animosity. So if we've moved on, we moved on, but, you know, not so caught up in the past that we don't we don't forgive and we reflect on certain situations, because this is the time to really to look at self, you know, and to make sure that self is correct. Because if you know that you're right in self, then there's no fear in any way, shape, or form of what's to come. Oh yeah, and things are, woo, things are gonna get very interesting out here. But if you're someone like myself, you don't fear these things, just whatever. You know, it's expected. You know, I mean, as a child, this is as a child, right? I was like 10 years old, living in Southeast DC. I sit in my room, and, you know, I was just thinking about the world that I live in, and I say to myself, you know, where are we going? You know, because even as a child, I think, well, you know, as a society, we should be progressing. You know, so I was thinking about the diseases, and I'm thinking about the relationships between Europeans and the indigenous people on this planet, or so-called white and black, however you want to do it. You know, and thinking about all those things, and then you see, even as a child, you say, man, I think we're going backwards. So even as a child, like, I picked up the Book of Revelations. I was like, hold on, nah, these is the end times, man. And it was hard as hell to read that book as a 10-year-old. I was like, man, what? I was like, you know, it was difficult. As an adult, it was much more easier to read. But even as a child, I always knew what time it was, you know, because diseases keep developing. You know, more people get more sick. It's much more poverty. It's much more injustice, you know. And there's nothing new under the sun. But in any in anything in life. Forget about a relationship, a building, a job. All things come to an end, and even your life comes to an end. So how can we expect this particular system that thrives on just corruption and just is out of order? How can you not expect it to fall? I think a lot of the time is that people have learned to survive within the system. You know, they have learned to do what they know to do within the system, right? So they don't want it to fall, even though they know it's fucked up. They know it. They're like, yeah, this is happening, but this job is keeping this house paid for, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. But to not expect the changes to come, I think it's more so out of fear. Because imagine you being a person that put your time into school for like 8 to 12 years, and you know you're this college graduate, and you did all this shit, and just for just for you to know that you know things are not like like you saw. You know, and that may hurt your pride or ego. So you may tend to ignore those who come around you, or those who are so-called conscious or so-called conspiracy theorists, you know, and things like that. Which I don't define myself as. See, me, I look at the world through observation, as I did as a child. You know, and I say, oh, something's not right. You know, and then once you realize what time it is, you know, at least for me, you wanna find your place in what you're supposed to do. You know. And how you're supposed to serve your purpose, and you know, and who you're supposed to serve, and what you're supposed to do. You know, I mean, the meaning of life. You know, I'm gonna give this to y'all is just correcting yourself in spirit. You know, so whatever it is, whatever the fuck that you didn't do in your past life, you need to be doing now. You need to be reflecting on who you are, who you may have been in your past, and request that and ask for that forgiveness. You know, so that you can have I don't want to say a clean slate, but you can start fresh. You know, and that's what you want to do. You know, you want to start fresh. You know, you don't want to continue feeling like you're gonna thrive in a system that you see falling, and it's crazy because in this time I thought shit was just gonna just fall the fuck down. No, the beautiful thing is they're actually giving people time to get their shit together, which is a beautiful thing. That's why this time now, where certain shit is closed and schools are closed, and you know all of these beautiful things, is really the best time to connect with self and to realize what the fuck you've been doing, the world that you've been living in, and you know what you can do to just make sure your spirit right, because you don't know when you're gonna leave. Yeah, you can buy all the toilet paper and supplies you want, but you know hopefully you make it home that night. You see, so it's not about that. You know, it's not about that. And this world is full of people with great ego. You know, so a lot of people don't want it to fall because even though they know it fucks up, they know it's fucked up, it benefits the shit out of them. Because they making that money, because their life is good, you know. You know, a lot of times it's easy to pray when you don't have what you feel you need. Easy to pray, right? Then the minute some shit go against what you doing, what you like, or it don't go your way, then everybody on their knees trying to pray to the Most High about what they need and what they will do if they get these things. But even when you get those things, a lot of times it ain't a thanks or nothing. Nobody's thankful, you know, or anything like that. So, you know, this is the time for that. This is the time to look at self. And not only that, I want to say this even for the parents as well. It's time to grow with your children. You know, I like to say I was an educator. You know, I worked with children. You know what I mean? I love them. I love them so much. But even working with the children, a so-called teacher spends more time with your child than you do. A lot of times you pick them up from school because you had a long day at work. I know that's the corrupt word that you like, right? Yeah. But a lot of times a teacher knows your child probably better than you, and a lot of times a child may listen to the teacher more than you. You know, because we do pick them up from school, play with them for a little bit. You know, they had a little activity time. Eat, go to sleep, do the same shit again tomorrow. So this is the perfect time for the parent to build with the child. in a major way, and to know who your child is, and to and just to show them that love, because we are in these times to where their relationship needs to be strengthened. And that's not to say that all parents across America, do not have a great relationship with the children. But me, working within said schools, I've seen it. There's been times to where I can tell a child what to do and they'll listen, and their parent can tell them the same thing and they don't listen. They're like, nah, that's some bullshit. It's because you haven't taken the time out to observe your world. You're just so caught up in the system and working. So that's one thing about myself, and this has nothing to do with me. But there came a point in my life to where, I had to step outside the box, and look at the world versus just getting all up in it. You know what I mean? Just trying to run the race, trying to figure out, where to go to get this and how to get that. And I had to realize, hold up, like, instead of playing the game, let me see what type of fucking game I playing. Let me look at the instructions. Let me let me step outside and see what this is really about. Then, when you do that, you got a different outlook on life. Because you realize, y'all, this is some bullshit. You know what I mean? That's not to say that you go out and you quit your job or you do, no. You live this, but you live this right. This is why spirit is so important. Because when these times come for that change to come, in which if you've been paying attention, okay, well, I'm going to live this, but I'm going to make sure I'm right, because as these times change, I know I'm good in my spirit. I know I'm good with my creator. I know I'm good mentally. I know I'm good physically. So I don't have to worry about a sickness. I ain't got to be running the stores buying a whole bunch of shit, because I know I'm great. I know I take care of my body. I know I keep my mind right. Right. But a lot of those that are scared, that's what they run and do. Let me get this, let me get this, let me get that. But are you right? You can buy all the supplies in the world, but if you ain't right, that don't mean nothing. We all have to work on ourselves, including myself. I'm not perfect. I'm not here, just preaching. I'm here because at the same time, like I said at the beginning, we all have a part to play, right? And I just feel like even if I just do this one video, just this one video, it could kind of just shed some light on. Thank you for the sun, by the way, shedding light on fucking chemtrails and everything. And if you don't believe in chemtrails, you got to be an ass too, because it's like, come on, man. How many? What's the thing people say? Jet fuel. Come on, how many fucking jets fly across the whole America in the course of one day? And it's cloudy all the time. Come on, man. And that's what I mean by letting go of your ego. And I think that's the thing, is some people don't want to believe their world is that fucked up. And that's crazy, right? Like, it's fucked up, but it's like, nah, it ain't that fucked up. Nah, it ain't. Nah, ain't no fluoride in the water. Fluoride is all right. Ain't nothing wrong with vaccines. But just like I told somebody, if you get a flu vaccine and you still get the flu, what the fuck is that called? It probably hurt their ego and whatnot, and I guess I was looked at as so-called being self-righteous or whatever. But I've always said things out of love, and that's always been my thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And just the people that I've come across in my life, whether that's, women friend, men friend, family, co-workers, just always speaking on the real of what's going on in this world. That's the main thing, you know what I mean? Or even random people that I meet, The main thing for myself is to put that energy out, which is why I'm doing this right now. This might be my last fucking video. The only fucking video in the world. But I just want it to be a time for everybody to just, reflect on who you are and where you are in this life. And I feel like we're getting all the chances in the world. You know what I was expecting? I was expecting this was going to be like some motherfucking, just hurricanes out everywhere, earthquakes, boom, in this shit. Get it over with, But nah, man. The grace of the Most High, man, is actually giving us the opportunity to get ourselves right day by day, man, and it's kind of beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing if you really pay attention. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, I feel like that's the most important thing right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give a little tip. Not really a tip, but this is what I'm gonna say. As far as like my path, so which I think will help. So just hear me out. As far as like the creator and the religious side, right? Now there was a point in time I used to call on the name Jesus all the fucking time, like all the fucking time. I used to say Jesus, even to the point my mom used to take me to church. I ain't never used to feel right saying that shit. Like what the fuck? Like it just being in church was never right. So and that's where the fuck they got a lot of people to where they believe the Bible ain't shit and all this and it. No, there's truth in all of that, but they do all that extra shit to make you not even want to be in the church. The Jesus shit is some bullshit, and then you don't want to go to Catholic church because they fucking with the children. So you know what? Fuck it. It can't be no God or can't be no Most High because Most High wouldn't let shit like this happen, right? At least that's what that's what the majority would think, which it would probably be right, but that's what they want you to think. This is what happened with myself, okay? And hopefully this helps. So when it came a point into my life to where I was at that stage to where I was just like, man, and I was in tears, because I knew there was a creator, but I just felt like there was so much bullshit that I didn't know how to approach it. So, I looked up to the heavens, to the skies, and I said, look, this world is full of corruption, and I want to know you, but I don't know you. I want to know your name. I want to know how to approach you. I want to know how to live. I want to know who you are. And if you can point me out, and I don't know for verbatim because this is a while ago, but point me in the direction of you and show me who you are. Help me learn who you are, your ways, your names, the right books, the right names, the right words, right? Point me in the direction of you, of Yah. and that's what I asked for. And slowly but surely after I did that shit, and it came slow. It was like pow, pow. I was like, oh, now I got names and everything. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm out here talking about, Yeshua HaMashiach, Yahuwah and Elohim and all. But it was a build, and it was beautiful because I made that request just off of that. So sometimes when you don't know where to start right there. Point me in the direction of you. Show me you. And I will follow and walk. And let me say this. That's not to say that I've been perfect since I've started walking. It's not like so. Because there was this times where I still had to slowly but surely start to get out of this world. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like all of a sudden. And I'm still working on myself. Let me say that too. Like don't look at me like I'm this. You know what I'm saying? I'm working. I have my days to where I'm holy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm working, and we just got to be better than yesterday, you know what I mean? But I'm a lot better than I was a while back, I tell you that. But, that's the main thing. That is really the main thing, is just, making sure that you reach out. And I feel like for me, that's the best way. And I think that might be I can't say that's the best way for everybody, but for me, it worked out for me. Because I slowly but surely started getting those things, and then I had to build myself up. But then I got my lessons. You know how you get your lessons where you get slapped up a little bit. You get hurt, you get your feelings hurt, you get your heart hurt, you get your body hurt because you ain't listening, and that'd be the reason why. Sometimes y'all do get the shit that y'all looking for, but y'all ain't even listening. Slap you up, and you like, oh man, what? Shit happens. Like, nah, Most High trying to get your attention. But you're not even trying to make any sort of connections. You know what I'm saying? So make some sort of connection. Then you'll see. Then you'll know. That way you don't have to rely on going to church. You don't have to look at no TV pastor. You can say, nah, because that shit bullshit. Everything spiritual is a personal relationship. That means each and every day we having a conversation multiple times a day. Hey, thank you for that sign. Hey, thank you. hey, I'm trying to figure out, you know, every day, multiple times a day. That's why a lot of times I stay to myself, man. And I don't want to get to rambling, but I feel like for the most part that should, I guess, help out. You know what I'm saying? To an extent. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully my camera ain't like close to my face right now. You know what I mean? This is my first time doing this, so hopefully I'm doing a great job. You know what I'm saying? I can't say subscribe because I don't even know if I'm gonna make another fucking video. I don't know. Who knows? This might be the last one. I feel like if it comes to me, then I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time too, me doing this really is more so feeling like I'm playing a part. And for me having the mind, and I don't know everything. One thing about me, I'm gonna let y'all know, I ain't no motherfucking scholar. I don't have all the information in the world. A lot of stuff that come to me is on the strength of common sense through observation, right? And the funny thing about that is that through just general observation, I've seen everything come back to me that I've always like said to myself, like, such, and then it come right back to me, like, oh shit, that's what I said. I said that shit. You know what I mean? It came back to me. So, like, that's how I look at that in that particular aspect. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, self is important. Focus on yourself. You know. There's nothing wrong with being in a relationship. Put it like this. I think for me, at least, if you could come across somebody that matches who you are and it just syncs, then cool. But don't go out there looking for people. And I could probably say that because I'm the type of person that I could be by myself or I could be with someone. It don't make me no difference. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times for me, I still have love within me. So it's like, you want to be there for people, but at the same time too, you can't be trying to, you can't be, so-called conscious or doing all of these things, but you're not spending that time with yourself. You want people to be right. Hey, this is bad for you, or this is, and those of us who do that, we say those things out of love. We never put things out there because we want to rule over people. Or we want people to listen to us because we're like we're their dictators. Listen to me, motherfucker. I'm right. Nah, I've never been like that. I just say things out of love. You know what I mean? And that's just me in general. So, I mean, with that said, man, I think that's the main thing, man. So, so the person that I know with the coronavirus is you, because you're scared. Most High don't say we should not fear. I don't condone fear. You fear the Most High, cause you could get fucked. I know, shit. I've been funny. I can laugh about it. I think, oh shit, damn, yeah, okay, all right, okay, all right. I'm trying to get it together. Just bear with me. But it happens, man. But with that said, man, it's your boy Johannes Shepherd Bay. You know what I mean? We building, you know what I'm saying? Building self in each and every way. One more thing. And I feel like this needs to be said, especially for you motherfuckers out there, scared as shit, running to this, that, and the third. I'm gonna give you a motherfucking secret, right? This is some slight shit. This is a cool secret. Look up mucus forming foods. A lot of times if you got a fucking cough, it's because of